this.
In Bounty Train, you work towards being a mogul of the steam train during the Civil War era. While North and South go to war and the last of the American Indian Wars are fought, you start out on the east coast of the USA and begin to build your railroad empire. You take on the role of Walter Reed, son of a recently deceased railroad tycoon who was tasked with building the first railroad track connecting East and West Coast. The company is in financial trouble though, and you will have to put in some hard work to get it back to full steam. If you can manage to claim 51% of your father's company and keep them too, you will finally make his dream of the Transcontinental Railway come true. You start off with a modest train and a few hints as to how you might be able to save your father's legacy. Of course, you can also just go and conquer the West with steam and steel any way you like, if you choose not to play the story campaign. Bounty Train will offer 20 to 25 hours of gameplay until you reach the ultimate goal of finishing the Transcontinental Railway any way you decide to play. In order to reach this goal, you first and foremost have to make a profit. You can transport goods or passengers or take on quests that pay better than just buying and selling wares. Someone might be in a hurry to get to a certain city or pay you extra to get their goods to another place on time. The trains won't move on their own though, so you will have to take on coal and not just goods to get the huge steam engines rolling. But you can choose to have that happen automatically. You will also have to defend your train from time to time when bandits or Native Americans try to board you, so you better hire some gunslingers who can fire out of a moving train if need be. If you manage to balance these costs with your earnings, you can keep on buying longer, better, and if you want to, even more trains and get them rolling on the railway to build your empire. Bounty Train is a business simulation with a story campaign and a real-time strategy part that comes into play every time your train gets attacked. All the gunslingers and engineers you hire for your team keep learning and advance similar to characters in a role-playing game. With this mix of elements, Bounty Train offers a unique and complex gameplay experience. The historic backdrop of the Old West during its most dramatic time offers exciting storylines and quests, but it has also been recreated for the game in loving detail. Trains, engines, buildings, even the fashion of your passengers and the guns of your hirelings have been modeled after the real thing and bring the Wild West to life. You will have to develop and hone a lot of different skills to reach your goal. In the big picture, you have to keep an eye on supply and demand for different wares by subscribing to newspapers and being on the lookout for shortages. It might also become important if some wares you plan on selling might be considered contraband in certain cities. You will have to consider length and weight of your train and which carriages to use. Passengers won't stand for traveling in a freight train. Will transporting goods be more lucrative than transporting passengers? How dangerous is a carriage full of alcohol? How long can a train be before the cost of keeping it rolling exceeds the profit you can make off the goods on it? You will also have to hire gunmen and engineers, decide how they will gain and use new skills and buy new equipment for them. And when it finally comes down to a gunfight, you will tell them when to shoot, who steers the train, and how to repair damage and douse fires before they can reach delicate or flammable goods. And during all this, you have to keep the train going fast enough to get away, but not so fast that you will take damage in dangerous bends. The Wild West is just waiting for you to explore its wonders, and only you will be able to tame the Iron Horse. Do you have what it takes to prevail? Find out in Bounty Train, or learn more about Bounty Train's complex gameplay elements in our next video.